Okay, so good afternoon. I hope you're having a nice Saturday, everyone. Uh, so this is the live for the telemetry data of the third practice of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. As usual, I have the camera in front for the first couple of minutes just to be nice to my guest and to show you the face of the guy who is broadcasting this, but I will shortly cut it off and let you enjoy the telemetry data entirely. The data that I display is for all just a quick recap for the new ones. I will also make it during the live, but we have the data for all the 20 drivers, and the data that I chose to display is speed, gear, throttle and brake. It's the one that gives us the best resume, the best idea of performance and driving styles. And we will also have a live confrontation tool that we will use during the session, as we did in all the last sessions. I think it's very cool and it's working really nice at the moment. Hello Antonio, ciao Gianluca, nice to have you all here. And as usual, I will try to give some comments on what I see that is cool, but I will not make a full commentary of the session. And the time here we have up in the center is the track time. So the data, it is extracted directly from the data. So the data refers to this track time. If you want to put it in sync with what you see in TV, it can be helpful. Good morning, ciao Albi, you're welcome. And that's basically it. Let's see. Yesterday we saw some, I think, interesting stuff. Just to have a quick recap, we saw the Mercedes quite fast, but even though all the newspapers were gave the Red Bull as dead, I will not trust this at all, or at least not completely, because we saw Red Bull faster in corners. So basically, the split was between longitudinal acceleration and lateral acceleration. Yesterday, Red Bull was better in let's say, sustaining lateral accelerations, but was not so good in longitudinal acceleration, while Mercedes was exactly the opposite. Today they will both have the racing engine. Shouldn't be a big difference for Red Bull, even though yesterday Honda was very slow. But we are curious to see what happens to see with Mercedes. And the other news is that the tire pressure has been increased by 1 psi for the front tires. That might change the game quite significantly, and it could help Red Bull because they had the issues in lighting up the front temperatures, and this could actually help them a lot, especially with the soft compounds. So we'll see what happens. Of course, it's impossible to make predictions. I learned predictions is pronostici. It's impossible to make predictions. Let's just see. This year is just enjoyable as it is. I will now turn my face off so you can enjoy the full screen, and I will mute myself for a couple of minutes for preparing everything, and I will be back soon. Thanks for being here. So Mazepin and Kimi are on track, so I'll just leave it on the screen for now, since they are the only drivers on track at the moment. So interestingly enough, no one is lapping at the moment except the one we already mentioned, Raikkonen, Schumacher, Mazepin, then an installation lap for the Aston Martins. So it looks like they don't need to test a lot. They just want to optimize the setup once the grip is already optimal. They don't want to spend. You don't have to check a lot of information because usually when they need to make tests, like yesterday, they immediately go out on track. Not today, as far as it's. So I'll scroll up to check Hamilton and Bottas. So Mercedes worked on the setup to have a bet. They took out a bit of rear downforce because they needed yesterday. We saw it live also. The in the what I call the complex, which is a turn from 6 to 12. Yesterday, only Max was capable of keeping the full throttle in most of the section, while Lewis and Bottas had to go to partialize the throttle really a lot. Here, it seems the behavior has changed because it's only 2 lift with small braking points, but it's not a continuous modulation of the throttle. So it seems that they worked on the yesterday. The setup of Mercedes was really similar to what we see. Was producing something really similar to what we see from Leclerc and Sainz here. Here it's changed a lot. You can see it here. So they changed the setup a lot. And I will now reactivate the Valtteri and we'll keep on. Lewis is still with some issues in this part of the track. Let's see Max, because yesterday it was pretty clear this section, the difference in this section. We will have a live comparison between Lewis and Max. I think 29.6, that's a good lap with our tires. Max is with soft new. So Max is already with soft. They are checking the qualifying performance immediately. Merci. I will open up the live comparison tool so we can live compare Hamilton and Verstappen. I would say, of course, this is the fastest lap time of Hamilton. You see how much he cuts the power here. That's curious enough. They are keeping. They are. I have to study this data a bit because this is quite interesting to see. And I will move. This is a under 50 constant speed test by Max. They never did it during the season. They are doing it here, constant speed test. So you see, he still did. No fastest lap by Max. So I'll scroll down again. This is all tests. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see Leclerc. 322. It's quite a remarkable speed by Leclerc and Sainz. Let's live compare also Sainz and Leclerc. Let's just enjoy the data. Sainz. I'll put the yellow. Charles aborted the lap, but not Sainz. Sainz is pushing. And he had P2 Sainz. Nice lap time. There was a mistake by Lewis. Here is the mistake by Lewis, you see? It was long, full hard braking, full downshift up to the first gear. He actually stopped completely and then started again. This is clear, no? The mistake at the first corner. And Sainz had a quite good lap. You see here, Ferrari is good in the driven sector and has quite a power curve. This seems to be a hybrid power with this kind of distribution. And it seems that they are spending it here and here at the price, and here at the price of here and here. Now Verstappen is on his flying lap, so I will pick Max to have it live. Mercedes really fast on the straights, Verstappen much better in the complex, but a bit slower. I have to remember the corner names, there's too many. 16, 17. You just saw it pass. Let's see, the top speed is fast, but you see Mercedes is a bit faster at the beginning and then flats out up here. This is something, do it on purpose. We have to study a bit to understand it. That's, I guess it's a good lap by Max. I don't know if he can challenge completely Lewis, but it sure is not slow, huh? It's P3 for Max. So the soft tire by Max is not producing a super lap time. It's interesting to see here the difference. And Perez and Hamilton. Let me check Hamilton again. You see, it's a lot of power and low drag by Mercedes. This area here is all acceleration and is really time sensitive stuff. It's cutting a bit less now, 318. Okay, I will scroll back down to the live data. Ciao Albi, rispondo in italiano, poi riassumo in inglese. I'll answer in English to Albi, and in Italian to Albi, and then I'll translate quickly in English. The constant speed tests are actually very... i test a velocità costante sono di solito molto utili per raccogliere i dati di confronto tra ciò che hai provato in galleria del vento al simulatore e in pista, perché il continuo accelerare e rallentare della vettura produce un carico variabile sulle ali, ovviamente, no? Perché l'aria che ci passa sopra cambia in continuazione di velocità, per cui per capire se il modello teorico che hai fatto al computer e al simulatore corrisponde al vero. La cosa migliore è fare passare dell'aria a velocità costante in modo che tu puoi verificare cosa ti risulta col computer e cosa vedi alla realtà in una situazione stabile. Per cui quando porti novità in pista o quando sei insicuro su alcune configurazioni aerodinamiche, nelle prove libere spesso si fanno queste test a velocità costante dove tu leggi tutti i dati delle celle di carico della macchina e puoi confrontarli con il lavoro preparato in fabbrica, e a quel punto oltre a verificare se va bene, anche tarare i tuoi modelli. So, quick answer to Albi, I'll just translate it in English. What are the constant speed tests for? Well, when you are in the factory, you simulate. Now also there are a big limitations in the test. So you make simulations for aerodynamics part and aerodynamics innovations, and also for aerodynamic setups, and you have theoretical values. But you need to let's say check those theoretical values with the track values. But when the drivers drive around, it's a constant acceleration and braking, so the flow of air on the aerodynamics part usually is quite unstable because it keeps changing speed. So it's much more easier to verify the factory work with a constant speed of air on the aerodynamic parts. So they ask the drivers to drive around with constant speeds, so they can measure with telemetry the load cells amount and everything, to measure the downforce and everything, so they can double check the work done in the factory and also to calibrate their systems. In the meantime, Lewis is actually really flying around, and Gasly just had the purple first sector. There are a lot of drivers to take care of. Wow, 28.3, it's a super time. It's 250. It's more than 250 kph on average. This lap is crazy. I wanna check again. Yes, but they are progressively turning up the power. You remember 311, 318, and now 323. This was 310, and now it's 319. This was 318, now it's 322. They are unleashing power from lap to lap. And also they're starting to improve the complex. That's the improvement that Mercedes is doing at the moment. I don't know what Gasly is P2, and I don't know what Max work is at the moment. I think he's about to start another lap. Let's see. We will see it in the live comparison. He's on a flying lap. Let's see. Max had a very strong first sector here, despite not being so fast. He has some high speed issues from what I see, but this is very fast at turn 23. This is where Max usually flies. This is one of the corners where he goes faster. He's very slow on the straights, but very fast in corners. I think he was also on a higher downforce setup compared to Mercedes. And the lap time is 28.6, 3/10. So the 28.3 by Hamilton was a crazy lap, but from what I see, there's a big long straight speed component, because you see that in corners Verstappen is at least as fast as Hamilton, but usually even faster, but he can't cope with the high speed sections. all of them. So it's still there's still a lot to see, because for sure Honda is not full power yet. For sure also Mercedes is not full power yet, but these guys have something in their pockets for sure. I'll scroll down again just to show you the live. And yes, the hard is usually quite yeah, it's impressive, the lap time with the hard, but also here in this track it seems that the hard tire is super competitive. It's even better than the medium and on the level of the soft. I think it's quite a confidence, a driver confidence issue, because with the hard is a lot more stable. Let's see, because it's not so clear that you need to have the soft tires to have the fastest time. So Alan is asking if Max has chances, and I see you guys are quite worried about Lewis performance and tire compound difference. I agree that for sure it's impressive to score a 28.3 with the hard tires, but also yesterday Max has even better lap times with the hard compared to the soft most of the laps, because the soft compound is moving a lot. So it's really hard to manage. Sometimes the hard gives you more confidence when you need to drive fast between the walls. So yes, it's impressive, but still I think it's not, let's say, completely over. Probably Mercedes seems faster in this moment, but I don't think they will have like 1 second difference in qualifying. But at the moment, we will need to see, of course, because for Max the important is on being front row, because if he can make front row, then he has the start, he has the strategy, he has many options, anything can happen. If he starts to be P3, P4 while Lewis is P1, then it gets much more complicated. Yes, let's see. Ciao Stefano. Se la gomma hard per fare la pole dipende un po' dalle condizioni. Io credo che alla fine la gomma soft nel Q3 abbia un leggero vantaggio, per cui magari di 1/10, ma sappiamo che è fondamentale. Però che magari qualche pilota è in difficoltà, magari nel Q2 per passare il taglio o nel Q3 provi a fare il giro disperato con la gomma hard, sì, quello può capitare. Ho dei dubbi che quando poi arriverà, perché adesso ricordiamo che non hanno tutta la potenza, tutto al massimo, hanno margine ancora. Secondo me quando poi non avranno più margine, staranno dando tutto, allora la gomma soft avrà un piccolo vantaggio, ma non è ancora questo il caso. So, giving it in English, Stefan is asking if the hard tires could be a choice for the pole position and the Q3. I think that it should not be, and now they still have margin because they are not pushing the full engine and full driving, and they're not at the very limit. When in these conditions whoa, Verstappen is flying. 1 second, guys. Let me check Max while the bell is ringing. Sorry, guys, in the background. Wow, Max is 15 kph faster in turn 23. That's crazy fast. Also turn, this is 13, this is 16. That is very, very fast. And as you see, close down on the streets. You see, it's not over until it's over. I'd say that. Okay, guys, I gotta open the doors, so I will just leave you for 1 minute here. I'll be right back. So here I am. Sorry guys, just some home issue on Saturday. So I was checking. You see what this is? Completely full throttle the complex. That's crazy, yeah? This is how much grip is capable of developing the Red Bull here. This is starting to get to the limit, and the soft compound now is helping a lot. Now let's see if Mercedes is capable of replying. I will turn on Bottas. Hopefully today is working. Yes. Yesterday for some reason it was not working. I have no idea why. And Bottas just started this flying lap. I will change the colors in a second. Let's make Bottas white and Max black. Half a second behind with the soft tires. Bottas in the first sector. He just made turn 13. Let's see. It's not full power. This is the difference also between the two power units of Bottas and Hamilton. We know that Hamilton is more powerful, and you see the power curve is much lower, but it's very slow. Both Mercedes is very slow compared to Verstappen in the cornering sections. All the cornerings where Max is much faster. I'll try to put a lighter color. You see, this is Verstappen, this is Verstappen, this is Verstappen. Let's see the time of Valtteri. It's 29. Yeah, it's much slower. So that's what I was referring about. It's not over until it's over. Let's see. Also, Lewis is now on a flying lap, 3 tenths behind with the soft. So Mercedes is faster seems to be faster on the hard tires. You see, this is the power curve of Lewis. It's so fast in the straights. We all know this with this new power unit. But you see how much he lost. He loses turn 23. So the soft compound is not working for Mercedes. This could be an issue in qualifying because it could be he aborted the lap. He cancelled the lap. He will box, I think. Ciao Gianluca, yes, the acceleration curve is actually a function of the power delivered, so basically the the torque delivered by the power unit. The higher the torque, the more slope has the curve. So più coppia esprime la power unit, più ripida è la salita della curva della velocità. Può essere sia un'opzione dal punto di vista, è una combinazione di cose. La Mercedes è anche un po' più scarica aerodinamicamente, per cui mentre accelera più facilmente, e poi sappiamo che la power unit di Hamilton ha tanta potenza e tanta coppia in basso, l'abbiamo visto in Brasile, ancora più che in allungo, in basso in trazione. So we know that the power unit of Lewis has a lot of torque in the low range. That's where they focused for this new power unit. So in corner exits and first part of acceleration, where is the really time sensitive, they have a lot of torque, which produces great acceleration and a very good rear of the car that allows to put that power down on track, of course. Hanno anche un ottimo retrotreno, perché ovviamente tutta questa coppia, questa potenza devi poterla scaricare a terra, perché altrimenti rischi di avere instabilità al retrotreno invece che trazione. Albi, engine issue for Hamilton? Yeah, it's possible, of course. It's possible for anyone. Max has a very old power unit. Lewis has a super powerful power unit that has to last just 2 races, but Mercedes this year is not very good in reliability. So, yeah, anything can happen. That's the biggest fear they should all have. Because at zero, because an engine issue would probably kill the championship hopes for anyone. Ellen is asking um, if being with less downforce could be an issue in the race for Mercedes. Yes, they are forced to do this because with the high temperatures they cannot put all the downforce they have on track. We saw this many times this year. That's one of the reason I thought that that the Red Bull can still have the upper hand in some occasions, because Mercedes cannot put their whole downforce down on track due to temperature issues of the. Because Lewis is just telling that he doesn't even know what his own time is, but Mercedes has a limitation on downforce they can use, but they have to just live with that and to compensate with the straight line speed. That's what they've been doing many hot races this year. In italiano, praticamente la Mercedes ha dimostrato più e più volte quest'anno di non poter usare tutta la downforce che potenzialmente ha, perché vanno a generare troppo overheating nello pneumatico, spesso avendo problemi anche di blistering. Abbiamo visto ieri Ocon avere blistering, per cui è un tema su questa pista. Per cui sì, può essere un problema in ottica gara e gestione gomme, ma quest'anno l'hanno fatto tante volte, perché con le temperature alte non possono esagerare con la downforce, e devono cercare di compensare con la velocità in allungo. Hanno fatto così molte volte ed è un limite che loro hanno, ed è un tema, uno dei motivi per cui ho pensato che in tante situazioni, nonostante in questo momento Mercedes sembra una macchina migliore, Red Bull possa avere comunque o un vantaggio o essere lì a combattere lo stesso. So let's check it live the lap of Lewis. I will take Bottas off since he's very slow. Max is always fast. Clipping by Max. They are pushing all they have. See how much is slower? 12 kilometers per hour slower in turn 23. Let's see the lap time. 28.6. It's not even his fastest. Grazie Albi, ora scrivo a Matteo che il pubblico lo vuole, perché li conosco bene tutti loro, ci ho lavorato insieme quasi 3 anni, per cui gli mando lo screenshot. Whoa, Max is flying again. This full power, full throttle, all the complex part. It's still a bit faster, even though the middle sector this 239 is a crazy speed. How much was before? 232. That's crazy. This 239 to 23. This is how aggressive. This is the last score 28-1. 28-1, ladies and gentlemen. Max is in good shape. Max is in good shape. .239 is crazy speed. Two gears, 876, 239, and then just a tiny seconds without throttle, and then full throttle again. If you look at the turn 23 on the map, you see that it's an S. It reminds me a bit the swimming pool S's of Monte Carlo, the second one, the first one. Nice one, nice. That was super lap by Max. You see Ferrari constant speed test, 210. Science. So I'll just scroll down a second to see Tsunoda's lap. If I'm still, I don't know if I'm still on time. Yes, 228, 150, 192. These are good speeds. Top speed is not super, but and they have this trend of incrementing speed up to the last before the last corner. They're fast. Also, Alpha Tauro is fast in corner 23. I don't know the rest of the lap. It's hard to focus on everybody because it's quite a large amount of data, but I'll do my best. 236 and still improving the last sector, and Max and 28.1 again. Impressive. I'd like to thank Formula One for this wonderful data that they're showing on screen, which shows half a second advantage of Hamilton on Max. It seems a bit too much in my opinion. They usually make pick the best microsectors, and they put all the best microsectors of each driver to full a potential lap. But Hamilton is showing some difficulties with the soft tires that is not reflected in this. Uh, and also I don't see how can it be. Hamilton can be potentially ahead of Max, but I don't see any half a second ahead of Max at the moment. And then this afternoon it will be surely half a second ahead, but I don't see it from the data now. Half a second ahead. And Albi is asking about McLaren versus Ferrari. Yes, they seem close. I expect McLaren bit faster with the full power with Norris, but they quite disappear in this last part of the season. It's a bit hard to say. I have to. I also be honest that I'm currently this session focused together with you on the top of Hamilton Verstappen. So I need to check again the data for McLaren and Ferrari at the end of the session, because I don't. Let's see. Let's have a quick look together. No, I don't have the reference. 29-1 by Leclerc. It should be his own last lap. So let's should be this if I remember correctly, and let's see Norris. And Norris his last lap. Also notice there's this flat line at the top, while the new power unit of Ferrari is quite okay. In the complex, Norris is faster at the end, but Leclerc is faster at the beginning. This is very powerful. This power curve by Ferrari in the main straight is really powerful. And in cornering speed, they seem quite on par. So I don't know at the moment. Ferrari seems a bit ahead, but it depends if McLaren can ramp up his power for this for the qualifier. Yeah, I'll be sure. For sure, AlphaTauri can be very strong. Very, very strong here. I think it will be hard for Ferrari to catch AlphaTauri as well in this, at least in qualifying. I don't know in race. Yesterday Ferrari was very good in the race pace. It was second fast. But in qualifying, AlphaTauri with Gasly and Tsunoda seems at the moment hard to catch. Okay, so the session just ended. Let me pop my face up again. Hi guys, and I hope you enjoyed. I think it was fun. Charge just with a bit of tow charge just scored 325. That's nice to see. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think it was fun. It's always nice FP3 and qualifying because there's this pressure building and all the lap times improving and all the performances, etc. So I think it's fun. It was fun. I had fun, and now I will just leave the screen on as usual for a couple of minutes, and in the meantime I'll just run to work on the data because I need to put out the first analysis of the FP3 shortly and a bit before qualifying. Thanks again for being here. Really appreciate. And I hope to see you all in qualifying. That would be for sure fun. Cheers guys. Ciao.